I was very irritable, like to the point where there were conversations of the D word. Literally, I will get annoyed and I'll be like, I'm leaving. Hey guys, it's me, Lucci. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, I'm so happy to be filming again because I miss talking with you guys. Last time I did a chit chat, I appreciated the responses, the comments, and it just motivated me to film another one. So if you're watching this right now, first off, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe because I'm coming to you guys with the content. I'm gonna be talking more, just sharing more about my personal stories, life, family, and there's just so much to talk about, you guys. I feel like I'm finally in my auntie era, okay? In terms of not just age, but knowledge, experiences. I'm now 31, mom of 4. I've been with my husband for over 12 years and we've been married for 7 of those years. And I just feel like, actually, I feel like I have grown so much from the Aluchi that I was when I started this channel. And I just want to bring you guys in more. I want to share more. I want to talk more. And I want to just let you guys into my world more. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and subscribe and turn on your post notifications. And most importantly, leave me a comment, okay? If anything I talk about here, if you can relate to any of that, just go ahead and leave me a comment below because I love reading your comments and I love just engaging with you guys and just hearing what you have to say. Today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about how having a baby can change your life, especially your marriage. Okay, I'll be sharing the good, the bad. I'll also be sharing some personal takes and just some tips of, some pieces of advice here and there. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So 5 years ago, we had our first child. And now 5 years later, we've had all of our children. By the grace of God, we're done. We have 4 kids. In those 5 years since becoming a mom, I feel like I have just learned a lot. There's so much that people don't tell you about, becoming a mom, having kids, how it's gonna change your life. And I just feel that if people knew more, knowledge is power. First of all, I believe knowledge is power. A little bit of it is trying to keep, things mysterious and just trying to make sure, people still have that fairy tale feeling about, parenthood, motherhood, and all of that. But I also feel like some of these conversations are very important to have. I just feel like I look around and I see just lots of things, like even just in this space alone, just in this social media space that we're in, I mean, if you've been on YouTube, there's just a high rate of divorce, especially after people have kids. And after listening to their stories and also just paying attention to my own situation, my own life, my own marriage, I just feel like more needs to be talked about. We need to have more conversations about what to expect when you have a child, how that's gonna change you and your relationship with your partner, your husband, your wife, and just things that you should be aware of, because I feel like if you know these things, then you can ride the wave, okay? Life has its ups and downs, but if you know what to expect during the downs, I feel like you're better prepared and better equipped to ride the wave rather than experiencing a deep and then breaking off or things going sour. One thing I wish we talked more about is mental health after having a baby, especially for the mother, okay? It's been 5 years and I'm only now talking about this. After I had my first child, you guys, I went through it, okay? First of all, the pregnancy was really rough, you guys. I had hyperemesis and I was so sick. I was constantly nauseous. I was vomiting. It was so bad that I couldn't walk for the first 3 months. It was longer than that. I don't even remember when I went back to work. I was also on a different type of work permit because I had just gotten married. I didn't have my green card then. So I was on my EAD. And that had also expired. It's so crazy how the timeline worked, because by the time my employment card had expired, that was also when I was in my first trimester. So I couldn't work either way, which was just perfect. God literally just timed it perfectly. So while I was waiting for my green card, I also was pregnant with our first, right? It was a crazy pregnancy. I was literally counting the days till I was no longer pregnant. Like, that's how insane it was. Like, for women who enjoy pregnancy, how does it feel to be God's favorite? Because when I tell you I struggled, it was so bad. I remember my husband and I, Rafiki and I, were like, this is it, one and done. We are not having another baby. But by the grace of God, after that, the subsequent pregnancies were so much easier, way more pleasant. But back to that first pregnancy, you guys, I was so sick. And then also the way my labor and delivery experience went was, it was not what I expected. It was a bit insane too. So postpartum, okay, we were both, my husband and I, first time having kids. It was an adjustment, okay? You're dealing with the lack of sleep. You're dealing with this whole new change. You're dealing with learning how to parent a baby that you've never ever had to do before. You're dealing with all the sacrifices that you're starting to make as a new parent. And it can take its toll on a relationship. So add on top of that, as a woman, as the mother yourself, you're dealing with all the hormonal changes, you guys. Oh my goodness. Like, the hormonal changes that you deal with postpartum, insane. It's hard to even explain. You just have to experience it yourself. And I feel like this is where I really want to focus on today, is these hormonal changes and how they can affect your decision making and how they can affect everything, literally. I know I for sure had postpartum depression the first time, and you know, I dealt with some crazy irrational thoughts. I was very irritable, like to the point where there were conversations of the D word, okay? I'm telling you, like, when I see people who went through this, and I really empathize, I would get so irritable. And now when I look back, I know it wasn't me. It was literally the hormones. I'm telling you, blame it on the hormones, because postpartum hormones are gonna make you, they make you thinking and feeling the craziest, okay? And I just wish that more moms to be, more mothers are fully aware of this, because I really feel sad when I see a lot of people talk about how they got a divorce after having a baby. And I've been seeing this a lot on threads, on TikTok. Honestly, those hormones make you feel extreme emotions, okay? When you're sad, you're not just sad, you're super sad. When you're happy, you're super happy. And just dealing with all those changes after having a baby, it can make you just see the worst in your partner. You just feel like your partner is not doing enough. You feel like, you know, everything they do annoys you. They're not holding the baby well enough. They're not helping you out as much as you want to be helped. And in that moment, your feelings are 100% validated, 100%, because I know how I felt and I know my feelings are validated and they are valid. However, one thing about feelings is that they are not fact. Feelings are not fact. And I just want to tell every mom or mom to be right now, no matter how you're feeling postpartum, I promise you the intensity of those feelings are gonna decrease and you're gonna feel better eventually. And when you've just had a baby, that's not the time to make any life-changing decisions. Yo, I'm preaching to the choir here, because if I begin to tell you guys how much I have wasted because of some decisions that I made while I was pregnant and postpartum, I'm just so grateful for the kind of husband I have, because he's so patient with me. He is so loving. He gives me the grace to make mistakes, and you know, it is what it is. But you guys, I have wasted thousands of dollars because when I was in those periods of, you know, just had pregnancy and then also just having a baby, sometimes I make irrational decisions. That's just it. Now in hindsight, when I look back, I'm able to see this, but in the moment, you guys, it's very hard to see it. And so I hope that anyone who's watching this video, please just remember this. Just remember to be careful with the decisions you make. Be careful making big decisions when you're pregnant or postpartum. It breaks my heart when I read stories of women who, you know, they finished having a baby and then that's when they realized things were wrong in the relationship or whatever. and then they end up divorcing or breaking up. I also wonder what part of those decisions were as a result of our hormonal changes postpartum. Because let me tell you, when I was postpartum, you guys, especially with the first, I feel like after the first, I knew my body better and I knew what to expect. But let me tell you, the first time I had a baby postpartum, y'all, any little time my husband pissed me off, I was already thinking about going to the courthouse and filing a D. Yes, I was thinking about a divorce. Literally, I will get annoyed and I'll be like, I'm leaving. And now when I look back and I'm like, what the heck was that? Who was that? I'm telling you, those hormones are really strong then. And I'm so thankful I did not let the hormones win over logic and common sense and just rationality. Because in the moment, I'm telling you, everything you're feeling is so intensified. You just feel the feelings even harder. And like I said earlier, feelings are not facts. So just be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. Be careful. Pray, 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 you guys. Pray. Pray to God for grace. Pray to God for patience. We need more patience. Like, to ride the waves, the ups and downs of life, of marriage, you just need to be patient, because some things are just for the moment and they will pass. Like, everything is in a state of flow, you know? Like, you might be experiencing it deep right now in your relationship, especially after having a baby, because it brings so much changes. Like, there's so many sacrifices that have to be made once you have children. And if you're not willing to ride that wave, if you're not patient enough, if you're not understanding enough, or if your partner, not even you, sometimes it's your partner. And this is where as women, we need to make sure we are choosing emotionally stable men. Okay, I'm gonna say this one more time for the people in the back. Make sure that you're choosing a strong and emotionally stable man, because as women, our emotions are gonna go up and down and up and down, especially when you're going through big transitional moments like having a child, postpartum. And with most women, you're pregnant, you know, yeah, a couple years in a row. It's like you get pregnant, you recover postpartum, then you're pregnant again, and it's like a cycle. When you have a good partner who is emotionally stable, emotionally available, he's emotionally emotional maturity is key, then he's able to be your rock through the waves, the ups and downs of, you know, childbirth, pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum, and all of that. When I became a mom, I was able to truly understand the fundamental differences between men and women. Because men, they don't have to go through these hormonal changes that we're constantly battling as women. They don't have a monthly period. They don't have to have a baby. They don't have to deal with postpartum. They need to be emotionally strong, mature, and stable, because we need to depend on them when our emotions are all over the place, when we're being irrational, when we're not thinking straight. That's where your partner needs to be your strength, your rock. He needs to be your foundation, the ground you stand on. And I'm so thankful for the husband I chose. I'm so thankful for my husband Rafiki, because sometimes I don't even know I'm all over the place with my emotions. But because he's stable and he's my rock, when I go through those moments, he supports me through them, and he's patient enough to let me ride that wave, patient enough to wait for me while I go through my emotions, and then we bounce back, we recover, I recover, you know, he supports me through that, and he understands. Because unfortunately, from what I'm seeing, like from what we're seeing in society with the, you know, lots of women complain about the same thing, it just shows me that, we just need to do better at choosing those emotionally mature partners. And also we need to talk about it. If you're pregnant right now, I think these are conversations you need to have with your husband. Not saying that all women are gonna experience this, but from what I'm seeing out in society, and from when I talk to other women, when I look back at women in my life, when I retrospect, when I reflect on my own experiences as a mom, I think it's more common than we talk about, just mental health postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, even just it's more common than we like to admit. And I think these are conversations that you should have with your partner before the baby gets there, just so that you know what to expect and you know that it's gonna pass. And rather than breaking things off and divorcing at the slightest inconvenience, you know, hopefully they're gonna be there, be your support system, be your rock, and you guys are gonna get through it together, and you're gonna emerge stronger as a couple, as a family, and hopefully your marriage gets stronger. So anyway, I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you can relate, let me know in the comment section, and yeah, let me know down below. I hope this video helps someone. I really hope this video helps someone. Like, if you know anyone that could benefit from this information, definitely share it with them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.